Greetings everyone, my name is Miloš Dikic and I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to talk about the state of the project for Olden card game. We are going to talk about what we did, what needs to be done, and what is our current situation at the moment. So, like in many projects, we got alpha, beta, and final release. At the moment, we currently estimate that we are somewhere around finishing alpha and entering beta stage. The big part of the project are assets. We got 3D, 2D, VFX, sound, and code, roughly speaking. And the thing with the assets is it can always be better. So it's kind of a rabbit hole when you go into. You will always have need to improve them. So it's hard to draw a line. But for now, let's talk first about the 3D assets. So 3D assets are completely done. We are finished with those. The environment is finished. The terrains for all 4 factions are finished, friendly and opponent's terrain. The castles and castle scale skins for the game are finished as well, such as base castle, prestige 1, prestige 2, prestige 3 for all 4 factions, and avatars and altars, sacrificial altar skins that will be changeable as well. Those are finished and done. However, we would love to improve those and animate them in one moment so they will crumble down if you beat your opponent, and small things like that. All in all, 3D assets are completely done. After that, we got 2D assets. The 2D assets are mainly composed from pictures and card pictures and interface. So card pictures are done. However, we are not really fully satisfied with those, so we actually began reworking and remastering them a little bit. On the first glance, the picture is nice and beautiful. However, it is not for the game, because in game the picture will be way smaller. And for example, this green dragon, this forest dragon looks really nice, but for the game needs, the forest dragon will be almost like a green sludge when you draw it, and we can't let our players trouble their eyes to see what card did they draw. It has to be on the spot. So we have to rework some of our pictures, but for the base game and for the beta we can actually use the pictures that we have, so it is safe to say that it is done. The improvements will come with the patch later on. The big part of 2D assets is interface. We changed our interface 2 times, and I think we got it now. We are really satisfied with this one, but this one has a lot of moving parts and it takes time to implement. But we kind of got it. It is almost done. The hardest part is actually the implementation of that interface. So we are working on that at the moment. After that, we got VFX, special visual effects that are also, in my opinion, done. But I can't say 100%. It is 95%, because as always we are implementing new stuff, and as they are coming we need new visual effects for that. However, the visual effects for the base game are fully done. They are done, and we don't have to work for those anymore. The code, the engine itself, I'm pleased to say that it is almost finished. The big thing are the cards, and our cards are kind of specific, that every card is very unique. They don't share abilities. So every card has its own ability, and that was the hardest part to make those. There were some cards that made a lot of problems, but they are done. They are all done and they all work, except one, and that one will be finished for the base game, I hope, as soon as possible. But that card is kicked from the game at the moment. It will come later on. So all cards are finished and they work with each other. We had few critical bugs that are resolved now that could crash the game, and those bugs were coming not from the cards, but when the specific cards interacts with the specific card. And that was the problem that we had, and it is fixed now. It works like a clock, which is beautiful. So code for the base game, the programming part as well, is finished, and that's a big deal. That's a very, very big deal. So everything sounds like it's done and finished. So what's the problem? So it is the little things, the small little things, and there are many of them. And though that is user experience. If you would to play the game now, it would be very blunt, very rough around the edges, and it's the polishing of those edges that needs to be done at the moment. Things like tooltips, things like you can't play that, there's a protection card on the board. Things like timer, when the so opponent won't take 5 minutes to end his turn or hers. Things like cards in hand are very chaotic at the moment. It is very hard to actually select when you have full hand, that's 10 cards, and when you want to pick a card, it is very chaotic at the moment with the collider boxes. And there's sound effects. We have no sound effects at all. We have 2 songs that our friends made for us, but other than that, we have 0 sound effects, and we need those. Like, they are very important for the user experience, and sound cues and things like that. History, we don't have card history. For example, as you play the game, the cards will be played, and if you maybe turn your head somewhere and miss what the opponent did, and you just come back and see the empty board, and you're like, what happened here, so you will need history, so can you go through history and see what happened there. Things like discard animation, we are at the moment also working on discard animation. Now if you would to discard something, the card would just disappear instantly. You wouldn't have time to even see what card did you lose. So a lot of things. So those are the things that we are working on. So the user experience, so we can actually publish early beta, so people can actually play the game without us helping them, or at least to help them in the minimum possible way. Okay, so that is what we are currently doing, and what is the future, and what needs to be done in order for the project to be completely finished. So first thing is currency system. We would love to add currency system. Currency system is the value that you will receive, currency that you will receive after you finish the game, and currency that you will use to craft skins and prestige and avatar skins and castle skins and golden cards, and leveling up your entity. So to level up your entity, you will need currency, and then you are in dilemma: will you invest in your levels or in the skins or in other things? So we need to create a currency system. After that comes the experience system, leveling system. So your entity will have levels, and with your levels you can invest into talents. Questing system, we did begin, we do have all the quests. Now we are in the phase where we are implementing those quests inside of the game, but it takes a lot of time. Crafting system is, so you got your currency, now you wish to craft skins or something else, so you will need to have that implemented in the very engine so it will work. Achievements, those are my favorites. So we have a lot of achievements, I think around 60 at the moment, and we would like to implement those inside of the engine, and Steam achievements as well. Then we have duel. Duel is so you can challenge your friend to a duel. Then we will, and sound effects are what's coming as well. As I mentioned, we have 0 sound effects, and those are all that needs to be made. And even some, we would like to try voice actors as well. So when you play some specific cards, they will yell out things. And the last thing, the hardest one, will be the talent system and implementation of that system inside of the game engine. The problem with the talent system is it cannot be made lightly. We really need to think that one through. We do have a rough concept of it, but we can't just go with it. It needs to be really well balanced, because as impossible as it sounds, we will try our best to avoid creating metas. So the idea of the talent system is to make your own talent build for your entity, because in this game there is no deck building. So if you want to have some form of individuality and theory crafting inside of the game, we came up with the talent system. But the problem with things like that in the current time is that people will just find the strongest build, copy paste it, and just run that one, which kind of defeats the purpose. So we can't just put whatever comes to our mind. It has to be very carefully calculated and well thought of. So the talent system, we are actually thinking about implementing it in a form of a DLC. So we would like to release the base game, and maybe after 1 month or 2 implement the talent system, because it will really refresh the content and give the game a whole new glow. So yeah. Oh, and proper cinematic. We would love to create a proper cinematic one day. So yeah, I hope this video helped you to get some picture of what is the state of the project at the moment, and what are our plans to do, and where to go. When it comes to dates, this is an important one. When it comes to dates, I'm going to be fully honest with you. We are very afraid to make any release dates. What we are aiming for, what we are hoping to achieve, is to release early beta, to try and to release early beta at somewhere around March of 2023. But there's nothing that could in theory obstruct us from doing that. So we are going to try to to release the beta somewhere in March. And about the final release of the game, we are hoping it's not, to try and do it until somewhere around June of 2023. So those are the dates that we are aiming for. You never know. A lot of things can go wrong, but those are the things that those are the dates that we are aiming for. We are also planning to release a Kickstarter campaign. That's the big one, because it is more than needed. This whole project was funded by my friend and me and I. So we are very, very much drained. So we are hoping to get some kind of a boost there. The Kickstarter campaign, we are hoping to release somewhere around in February of 2023, and around 15th, 20th February, somewhere around that time. And it will be a great opportunity for everyone who are interested to get a lot of rewards and a lot of skins that we made as a thank you for all the people who supported our project. Those will be exclusive Kickstarter skins, and only people who supported our project in its infancy will be able to actually get it. So be on the lookout for that one. In case you wish to get a beta key for when the beta is released, all you have to do is just subscribe to our newsletter, and we will give our best to not be annoying with the email spam and stuff like that. Only very, very important things such as beta release and exclusive things so you won't miss. But yeah, that should be it for now. Thank you very much for your time. I hope I gave you some closure about the project. And yeah, be on the lookout for the Kickstarter. All the best. Bye.